And now, marine weather around Alaska.
First up here, tomorrow's forecast, we have this front coming across the northern Bering Sea with the low center entering the Chukchi Sea there. That bringing rain, gusty winds up here, St. Lawrence Island, in across the Seward Peninsula and the northwestern Arctic coastal areas into the western Brooks Range. To the east of that, drier conditions with some sunshine extending from the eastern Brooks Range all the way down into Bristol Bay. And then this front trailing into the Pribilof Islands with some light rain there, not much in the way of wind, and kind of a widespread area, light rain and fog out here with that warm front over the western Aleutians. Otherwise, continued dry for Kodiak Island, some scattered showers around with mostly cloudy skies here, south central Alaska. Maybe a little more widespread up around the Madanuska Valley there in toward the western Copper River Basin, Talkeetnas. Otherwise, drier day for the southeast coast, especially over the southern areas, with this low staying to the southwest. But it starts to creep northeastward here on Thursday as this front pushes moisture into the eastern Arctic coast that could be mixed with rain and snow, but that would be mostly the higher elevations as you get into the north slope toward the Brooks Range. Otherwise, areas of light rain across the Seward Peninsula and northern Bering Strait with winds diminishing here on Thursday from what they'll be tomorrow. Weak system here with some light rain, fog, drizzle from the Pribilof Islands to the eastern Aleutians, and rain with another warm front out there to the west. And for the coastal water forecast, light variable winds along the south coast for the day Wednesday with seas running 3 feet. Light variable winds for the north coast as well, with seas about 3 feet. Light south winds on the inside waters, 10 knots, seas 2 feet. And then for Thursday, east winds 15 knots on the south coast, north coast, northeast at 10, and east and north winds at 10 knots for the extreme north coast there. And for the Lynn Canal area, southeast at 10, north at 10 for Stevens Passage, southeast at 10 for Clarence Strait. In other words, just light variable winds continue for the inside channels. Prince William Sound, light variable winds tomorrow. Same thing for the North Gulf Coast, Barren Islands, Kamishak Bay. Otherwise, Cook Inlet, light north winds at about 10 knots with seas only 2 feet in all of these areas. And for the day Thursday, light variable winds continue here for Barren Islands, Kamishak Bay, North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound, seas running 2 to 4 feet. And for Cook Inlet, southwesterlies at 15 knots with 3 to 4 foot seas. Kodiak Island, northeast winds 15 knots for the day Wednesday. Variable winds 10 to 15 knots for the Alaska Peninsula, northeast at 10 for Bristol Bay. And for Thursday, light winds for the Alaska Peninsula. Variable winds 10 to 15 knots for Kodiak Island. Light southwest breeze at 10 knots for Bristol Bay. And for the eastern Aleutians, variable winds 10 to 15 knots, Adak and Atka, south to southwest wind at 15 knots. Amchitka Island, south winds 15 to 20 knots. Kiska to Shimia, south to southeast winds 15 knots. For the day Thursday, small craft advisories now with front coming eastward across the western Aleutians, looking for areas west of Adak. South winds 20 to 30 knots, seas building up toward 10 feet west of Kiska. Adak and Atka here, southwest at 20, and for the eastern Aleutians, mostly southwest winds at 15 knots. For the southwest coast, winds will be southwest at 15 to 20 knots. Southwest 15 for the Pribilofs, and small craft advisories for St. Matthew Island, southwest 25 knots there. Norton Sound and the St. Lawrence Island area, winds south at 20, southwest 20 for the Yukon Delta coast with 4 foot seas, but up to 8 feet here around St. Matthew Island. And then for the day Thursday, for the Pribilofs, St. Matthew Island, south winds 20 knots, 5 to 6 foot seas in those areas. Southwest coast, winds southwest at 15. St. Lawrence Island and Norton Sound, southwest winds 20 knots, seas 4 to 5 feet. And for the eastern Beaufort Sea coast, south to southwesterlies tomorrow 10 to 15, southwest at 20, so a little bit higher there as you move west to the central coast, seas at about 5 feet. And then small craft advisories for the western Arctic coast and the Chukchi Sea, winds south 25 to 30 knots with seas up to 7 feet. And then they'll swing around from the west-northwest at 15 knots with a Chukchi Sea on Thursday with 4-foot seas. West at 20 for the western Arctic coast, seas 5 feet, and small craft advisories for the central and eastern coast for west to southwest winds at 25 or 20 to 25 knots with seas running 4 to 5 feet.